What's going on, everybody? It's Q from Retro Q Gaming, and we're here today to talk about the beauty of mods. Now, of course, mods can take many shapes and forms and do many wondrous things for games. Between adding new features, adding new characters, skins, whatever it is, new content, new dungeons, new whatever, new levels, custom maps, stability, technical stuff, or even just crazy visual overhauls. I mean, hell, we're probably all used to the ice enhancer for GTA 4 at this point. The game looks better than GTA 5 when maxed out to the bollocks with an ice enhancer, and all the mods you can put in through that. Anyway, there are massive amounts of cases out there for mods. Of course, there's things like Skyrim probably being the most prolific, with tens of millions of copies sold on PC, and the game basically lasted and became what it is because of PC and the modding scene. Fallout New Vegas is a big one as well. Sure, Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 are in there too. Not so much Fallout 3 because the game is a mess and when it released and all, but that's going to tie into something we're going to talk about in a second. But when you look at the massive amount of people that are making mods for stuff like Skyrim, obviously, Fallout New Vegas, and pretty much every other game you can think of. In fact, some modern games are actually officially launching with mod support. And I'm not talking about that shitty creation club that's paid mods but not paid mods from Bethesda. But what I really want to highlight in this video is where mods shine in certain ways. Sure, mods can add tens, if not hundreds, thousands, who knows, maybe even millions of hours of additional gameplay across all ways, shapes and forms, platforms, games, whatever. But I want to sing a little bit of praise for the people out there that do what I can't for old games. Now, I'm not a modder in any way, shape or form. I do use them now and again depending on the game and the mod, but believe it or not, until the late 2000s, maybe the early 2010-ish era, if not even a little bit later, because of the whole Windows Vista thing, PC gaming could be a little bit of a mess. I referenced Fallout 3 earlier in this video as well. Fallout 3 is a game that's notoriously badly programmed and awkward to run. In fact, it doesn't run properly on anything post Windows Vista, and even heavily modded for stability and fixes and whatnot, it still is pretty unreliable, which is actually one of the reasons I'm hoping for a Fallout 3 remastered or Fallout 3 anniversary or something. Not because of the upgrade in graphics or performance or whatever, that would be a nice bonus too, but really I just want a stable PC version at this point. But anyway, when you look at games from roughly that era, let's call them pre-2010, and that's going all the way back into the 90s, obviously the early 2000s and the 90s, some of these games have problems running on modern hardware. All sorts of glitches, bugs, and some of them weren't even great PC ports at the time. Now, of course, what you're looking at here is GTA 3. And this is not only GTA 3, but it's GTA 3 on PC with two specific mods. It's got the Liberty City patch, which fixes a ton of different issues and brings in different stuff from, say, certain console versions, proper support for things like higher resolution, improved FOV to go with it, proper widescreen support, bug fixes, things like that. And of course, because it's a glorious PC Master Race version, it was naturally running at a high frame rate, which is amazing. If you think this looks good, you should see GTA 5 when that's running at 60 plus FPS on extremely high settings. But this version of GTA 3 also has an extra different mod. Not just the Liberty City one I mentioned, but because of how PC peripherals and old school game controllers worked back in these days, modern ones don't work in certain things perfectly. Basically anything that's an X input controller nowadays, which is the majority of them, might have issues with some of the old ones that use direct input. So there's a little bit of a mod to put in proper support for X input controllers, and the game plays, runs, looks, controls, handles everything like a modern game. And it is glorious. And there's ones for all different types of games where you have this stuff happening. There's mods for obviously GTA 3, there's mods for Vice City, there's mods for San Andreas. Of course I'm going to be playing all three of them. And just something I was playing the other day that almost certainly requires a mod because of, well, shitty version of the game. Nier Automata. PC version of that, despite being the lead platform of the game, is actually a pretty shitty program version. But the Fire mod fixes a lot of all that stuff. And there are many games out there that this actually happens for, both new and old, in the case of shitty versions and shitty ports of modern games. Or people just having so much passion and love for certain old school games to actually mod them so heavily and put so much of their own time and investment into them to not only get them running properly on modern platforms, but to go above and beyond just having them running. And to those people I say, I salute you. your love and passion for things like these GTA games, I'm just going to use these as the example because they're the more recent ones I'm thinking of, at this point has probably helped millions of people relive these phenomenal landmark games on PC. And of course I don't want to detract anything from people out there who make mods for other stuff as well, be it Skyrim mods or Final Fantasy 15 mods or whatever it is, any type of mod, be it new graphical overhauls, new content, new levels, whatever it is. Everything does phenomenal work and it really highlights the power and the community of the PC. Anywho, I've harped on about these glorious mods for the longest time at this point. So let me know in the comments section below, what's your experience with mods? Are there any games in the modern era you play with mods? Are they primarily for new additional content, new visuals, bug fixes? Or like me, are you playing certain old school games that you basically need to mod to get running properly and make them even exceed their original forms? So let me know all that good stuff in the comments section below. Let me know how I did on the video by clicking the appropriate button. And since you're here, you might as well click that subscribe button and then turn on the little notification bell. Granted, it's current year and getting notifications from YouTube about new videos and live streams and whatnot is still pretty questionable. But hey, at least you can say you tried, am I right? As always, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the rest of the videos in my channel.